Yo, what's up, y'all? I just want to touch down on the Zimmerman case on the updates today. If you missed my video last night, you can check it out on my YouTube page, basically explaining why I think Zimmerman is in the wrong and why I still think he's wrong. And really, I don't see any way it could go that I would feel otherwise. So let's talk about what happened today. So apparently, there was a forensic pathologist, whatever you call him, that was up there speaking, and long story short, he's saying everything that Zimmerman's saying is correct about the fight, how it went down, him punching him, slamming his head, blah blah blah, all that. Okay, first of all, in my last video I explained how the whole fight and the brawl is irrelevant, but let's just talk about it for a second, because people are now telling me, well, look, Paco, this is proof right here that he was doing self-defense. This shows that he's telling the truth, that he was fighting for, that he was to do self-defense to fight for his life. Well, you know, first of all, for you to believe that bullshit, you have to believe that Zimmerman had no other choice but to kill Trayvon. And that is just crazy how anybody can think that. How a grown-ass man who's bigger than Trayvon, armed, MMA trained apparently, or was working out and all that, he can't get away from Trayvon. He can't push Trayvon off of him. He can't fight enough to get away from him. He can't pull the gun on him just to scare him. He can't shoot in the sky, shoot him in the leg. He can't do anything else. All he could do was shoot him dead. That's ridiculous. Because for you to believe that, you have to believe that Zimmerman was helpless and that Trayvon was so much stronger and so much overwhelming over him. That's fucking ridiculous. I don't care how horrible he is at fighting. You shouldn't be going around chasing someone if you're that bad, you know? But if Zimmerman was like 500 pounds, or if he was handicapped, or, you know, he was an elderly or something, maybe it'd be different. If Trayvon was martial art trained, or, you know, his weapons were, his hands were weapons like Mike Tyson or something. But it wasn't, man. People need to stop getting all caught up in the media and even some of the evidence. Call it for what it is, because even some of this evidence, some of this courtroom is just a fucking show. It's so ridiculous. So many of the witnesses, so much of the shit they're saying is so irrelevant. Like when they talk about Zimmerman, how good of a person he was. What does that have to do with anything? The one dude talking about how he was a best friend, he helped him tie his tie, and he's a good guy and all this shit. Good people do bad shit all the time. That don't mean shit. It's a waste of time. So there's no reason for anyone to believe that Zimmerman had no other choice but to kill Trayvon. It wasn't like he was tied down, tied up. None of that shit. Okay? He followed Trayvon. He was the aggressor. He's guilty. He went after him. Trayvon ran, remember? Now I want you to pretend that this is your son. Okay? What if Trayvon was your son? Your son ran away. When he couldn't get away, he fought back to defend himself. That's what any proud parent, father, mother, brother would want his son to do. Anybody would want that. That's what you would probably do. So all these people sympathizing with Zimmerman, if it was their own kid, their own child, it'd be a whole nother fucking story. They wouldn't be buying Zimmerman's bullshit, because that's what it is. It's straight up bullshit. And I ain't saying Zimmerman's racist. I ain't saying he hate black people. I don't know. I don't care. That shit's irrelevant to me. I don't care that Trayvon's black or Zimmerman's white and Hispanic. It's irrelevant. Okay? Now, I tell people, you need to understand that Zimmerman is a cop, pretty much. He's a cop. Look at it like that. A lot of people that support Zimmerman or sympathize with him, or some of them are the same people talking about government tyranny, talking about we live in a police state. But if Zimmerman was a cop and did that shit, I bet you a lot more people wouldn't be on his side. But because he was a fucking watchman or whatever, apparently it's okay. No, he needs to be looked at like a cop, because that's how he acted. Target someone, followed him, it didn't go the way he planned, he used excessive force real quick. That's what crooked cops do. Cops are punks, pussies. What do people always call them? And he couldn't even fight worth a damn. He's a perfect example of a cop. Taking classes in law. Come on, he's a straight cop. And when you sympathize for him, you remember you sympathizing for a cop and a future crooked cop. Basically, that's what you're sympathizing with. I have no sympathy for this dude. He's a coward. All he do is calling the cops all the time. I think what? A couple 600 times calling the cops for just suspicion and nothing happened down. He's a fucking snitch for no reason. He just wants to put shit in his own hands. And he can't even do that because apparently he got his ass beat. So look at him for what he is, a fucking cop, okay? Now, one thing I try to tell people is you need to compare this shit to the Hawthorne police case, okay? We all know about recently, a week ago, the dog that got killed by the Hawthorne police, and people are going crazy about it. Now, let's break that down real quick, all right? Some people argue, I had someone do it today, that the cop was the right one because the dog jumped at him. The dog was showing force, and therefore he had to protect himself and kill him. Now, I ain't gonna lie, if a dog jumps at me, it looks like he's about to attack me, I would be scared too, and I might shoot him. But the point is, the cop was in the wrong because the cop created that situation. He called it. He called for that shit to happen, and the dog was just acting the way any dog would act, the same way Trayvon was acting, the way any human being would act. Okay, so what does this dude do? This dude's filming the police, not bothering no one. He's far away. The cops get irritated and they come up to him, creating a problem for no reason. They arrest him, handcuff him, and the dog, they clearly see the dog is out. Instead of unhandcuffing the dude and leaving him alone, or at least uncuffing him so he could put the dog away, do they do that? No, they don't do that. They let the problem escalate, and when it gets too much for them to handle, they shoot and kill the dog. That's why the cops were in the wrong. They created the situation, and when it got too much for them to handle, they used excessive force. What did Zimmerman do? He created the problem, followed Trayvon. When it got too much for him to handle, he used excessive force when it wasn't called for. He is in the fucking wrong, just like those cops are. And I hope the cops get what they deserve by going to jail, and I hope Zimmerman gets what he deserves by going to jail. Well, more than likely, he's probably going to get off. I mean, straight up, that's what it's looking like. Now, another thing people are talking to me about is, well, Paco, this is the legal system. This is how it works. I'm not debating on what you know about the law. A lot of people might know it better than I do. Yeah, okay, I understand that the prosecution has the burden of proof. They got to prove it. What I'm trying to tell you is that shit's fucked up and it's wrong and it shouldn't be like that. If you kill someone, that person is dead. They're not here to defend themselves. Why the fuck do we get to believe your word and we have to prove something? No, the state has to prove something. No, you, Mr. Zimmerman, should have to prove without a reasonable doubt that your life was threatened, not the other way around. You're the one who had a burden of proof. You kill someone, that person ain't here to defend themselves. That's the only moral way to handle this. But instead, we're not doing that. That means something's wrong with our legal system. Something is wrong in this country when this dude Zimmerman can claim self-defense, and if we can't prove that he's wrong, he gets off. This is ridiculous. What kind of message are we sending to people in Florida? Hey, go ahead. You want to shoot someone, kill him, just say you were scared, and you'll get off. If no one was there to see it, you'll probably get off. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. It is morally unjust. How many people are locked up that are innocent? How many people are criminals are not locked up that should be? So we know our legal system's fucked up, and I'm tired of hearing people complaining about we live in a police state and the Obama administration complaining about the government, but then when it comes to the Zimmerman case, somehow this is legally just. We're getting justice now. Fuck that. It's all messed up. Okay? And we need to call it what it is and stop being hypocrites. Same thing with people on the Trayvon side. Don't be talking about Trayvon rocking the hoodie and being there for him, but you ain't gonna represent a white dude that gets killed by black people, or or Bradley Manning who's being tortured by Obama, or the drone strikes going on in Pakistan. It's hypocrisy going on both sides, and that's why I'm calling both sides out, because they need to be called out. It's just mind-blowing to me that people are making excuses for a grown-ass man who should know what to do, right and wrong, more than Trayvon should, because Trayvon's a teenager. He should know what he's supposed to do and what not to do. But who was in the wrong that day? Zimmerman did everything wrong. Trayvon, no one could prove he did anything wrong, not one thing. Okay, except defend himself if you want to say that's wrong. Zimmerman did everything wrong. Didn't listen to the cops, followed him, went after him, went up to him with a gun, fully loaded gun, killed him using excessive force. He did everything in the wrong. So we're going to listen to the guy that did everything wrong and give him the benefit of doubt and let him walk. And hey, Trayvon, shit, your life is basically worth nothing. It's a fucking a year full of TV shows and debate, and that's about it. Peace. Nah. That ain't right, man. And people need to wake up to it. And, it really hurts my feelings to see good people who seem like they have good intentions sympathizing with Zimmerman just because they feel like he got beat up. Well, guess what? That's what happens when you go up to someone and you ask for an ass beat, and you just might get it. So anyone that thinks Trayvon is wrong for that, I would love to see what they would have done if Zimmerman was following them. They would have done the same shit. And if they would have got killed, they would have hoped that their family was fighting for their justice as well. There's a lot of hypocrites out right now showing their true colors, supporting Zimmerman and shit, and that shit needs to stop. It needs to stop, because if it was the other way around and Zimmerman and Trayvon did this to Zimmerman, I would still be saying the same thing. I don't care about color. I don't care about race. I don't care where you're from. That shit's irrelevant to me. It's all about what is right and what is wrong. And you got to call it for what it is. I don't care what the law is, what the legal justice system is, right from wrong. Period. Peace. I'm out.